It's not like I line up on the mat or
I
on
just
the.
started it.
Home, you're kidding, right?
We
I just started it now.
some good stuff.
Well, that's okay because we're here.
Yeah, I
And
mean, we're
just
still
gonna.
here.
It's like we'll be like Joe Rogan's podcast where they just kind of start in the middle of conversation.
Yeah.
You know? It'll be
Good
us
job, dude.
on YouTube.
Yeah, we're just in the. What's up, YouTube?
but it's
Welcome to fucking Ball Breakers. Go ahead.
it's all right. You're still doing a lot more than fucking Doc.
Yeah, I mean,
But anyway, you see what I'm saying though? Like maybe mini golf is for every golfer.
That would have been a good clip.
was
Yeah,
a great
yeah.
clip, yeah.
It would have been a great clip talking about mini golf. Yeah, I know. But
Not
yeah,
really.
mini golf. Who's
Yeah, when are you gonna go golfing? There's gonna be 4 tree like trunks standing
Yeah.
out like off like in the ground.
like then like think about it. Like when you were younger, did you ever really have fun mini golfing?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like actually though.
And that's why I'm a little confused as to why you didn't say all of you guys would enjoy this.
Well, because we just went
Especially
mini golf.
because I'm older than you. I have a lot more mini golf experience.
Yeah,
than
but
you.
yesterday I was the back nine. I was just very good, but
Also, like, do you want to like mini golf on a course where it's just the fucking green and a hole straight?
no, I'm just saying who's the target audience for mini golf? Because kids cry and bitch when they're mini golfing, and I can see why because it's really goddamn hard.
I think I might have just solved the equation for you because you don't go and practice putting. It's not
Yeah.
like you can go up to a golf course and say, "Hey, I'm just going to shoot the all 18, but I'm going to start on the green."
Yeah,
Like it's
it's
not like
just
you
for
can.
sport.
I should have just made it a little easier. That's all.
No, I think
I agree. We want to have fun. I'm with you.
you guys didn't
Yeah.
have fun yesterday.
No,
Well, I had fun because I won, but like
I had an awful time.
as I'm sitting there thinking, like when that lady asked, like, "Hey, look," they're pointing out, look, they're having fun, and I'm sitting on the ground because I was pissed off because I had a horrible front nine on that mini golf course, and I'm like, I'm not having fucking fun right now.
See, I feel like the harder courses are more fun because there's a more strategy involved.
Not when you like it's a par 3 and you get like 10 shots on it.
Yeah, but it's because you fucked up, you know? I think
You
that
should have
it's
seen
cool
some of
because
these like holes on this.
I've
You've been
I've
there before.
I've beat you
Yeah,
on that
I don't
course
know
before.
if you guys have ever watched or heard of a TV show, and it's called Holy Moly,
I have. That's what Steph Curry, right?
and they play mini golf.
Yeah.
Yeah, on like
And,
cool
like,
fucking courses.
And they're probably really hard.
Yeah, they are hard. They're like some of the best mini golf courses like in the whole United
like
States they play.
like a lot of strategies probably involved.
Yeah,
right?
there's like tree trunks everywhere throughout this mini golf
You guys
course.
like really had fun mini golfing when you were young?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why I'm better than you now.
I thought it was fun. You go there, you pay like $6 or that's it.
There's
Hit
usually
some
always
golf
an ice
balls.
cream joint.
And then there's
attached to
always
it.
the last hole where like if you hit it like into the pirate's ship, you get like
yeah, you
a-
get that extra game, a free game.
I
don't
did
know.
that. I didn't get an extra game.
But have you ever in your life won a free game from a mini golf course?
No, but the first time was me doing it yesterday. I didn't win a free game.
So you never even had like that opportunity before?
No, because I stink, dude. That's why I don't have fun.
Oh, well, okay. Anyway,
Yeah. Earl?
what breaks your fucking balls, Earl?
So like I said, I started working. I'm back in like the retail environment, like in a storefront type shit. And I hate when you ask someone, "Can you help them get anything?" and they say no, but they know exactly what the fuck they're looking for.
I do that. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but like it would
As
like
a man, I have to find it first.
it would like save time for you though if you were just like, "Yeah, I'm looking for this exactly."
No, I agree. But as a man, I feel like I have to find this myself. And if I can't do it, then I'm like, damn.
That's
I
like
gotta-
very toxic masculinity, right? Isn't
It
that
is.
like the
I feel like that
definition?
has like nothing
one
to
does
do
that?
with you being
I
a
feel that.
man. Like you just
Yeah.
Unless
don't
I'm
wanna-
like actually super like confused
Well-
and like I don't know where this is, like you know what I mean, or like what I don't know what I'm
No,
looking
you don't
for.
ever go in a store, look for yourself, then you can't find it, then you're like, all right, maybe I should go.
Like I just feel
Yeah.
like it's a waste of my time and yours. Like for instance, there's a guy yesterday who comes in. He's like, I'm like, "Yeah, what can I help you find anything?" And he's like, "No." But then like 3 minutes later, he's like, "Yeah, so I'm looking for these pants," and he shows me
yeah, I'm that
a
guy.
link online, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
absolutely
"Why?"
that
I
guy.
mean, I just asked you like,
yeah, I mean you're there for a reason.
I
It's
feel like
to
if
help
it's a
them,
store, you know, like if I'd never been in that store before and someone asked me and I'm only looking for one thing, then I would just say, hey, yeah, can I get these pants? Like,
yeah, like it's not like this
You know?
guy was like shopping. You know, he came there for a reason. Like
yeah, and he could have saved 3
I don't
minutes
know,
just
dude.
by
It's
being like,
just-
hey, I need this.
I know, and then I got to sit there and like kind of attend to him and other people who are in the store as well.
The fun thing is
Yeah.
like look, it's like a treasure hunt, man. You got to find something. Once you find it, you like feel good about yourself. No,
Nah, it's
That's
Nah,
fucking
I
stupid.
mean-
dude.
I see where you're coming from.
I'm surprised
It
you
is
guys don't do
stupid,
that.
but yeah, well, it depends. If you just want to walk around
gotta
a
be a
little
big
bit.
boy and find things your own, you know.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That is true.
So we had a big not a big, but it was a good idea, I thought, because last episode, for some reason, Gotti, quote unquote, said that that's my boy, Ted Bundy. For some reason.
It all started with Doc.
Yeah, because
No, you
He got
turned it
John
into
Wayne
that.
confused with John Wayne Gacy.
No, you got John Wayne confused with John Wayne Gacy. John Wayne's like a famous cowboy, and John Wayne Gacy's a famous fucking serial killer.
So anyway, nonetheless, we decided we were going to go home after that because we were just so invigorated by Gotti saying John Wayne Gacy and Ted Bundy and all of the and random. It's really weird that people have infatuations with serial killers. Like, I'm sure there's like 100 serial killer podcasts where they tune in. People write books about various serial killers. There's TV shows about a lot of them. So we decided we're gonna maybe follow the trend here today, whatever time you're listening. We're here at night. But we are going to dive into some of our, I don't even want to call them like favorites because that's like fucking weird. Like that's my favorite serial killer.
Our chosen
Yeah, like
serial killers.
yeah. So we all picked a serial killer. We're gonna do a little deep dive into him, whatever we can. I mean, obviously it might be face level for a lot of people, but for some of you guys, it might be the first time you ever heard of him. So whoever wants to start with their serial killer, tell us some shit about them. We'll kind of talk about them and probably ask a lot of questions like, what the fuck is wrong with that guy or girl or them, they. I mean, some people, it's ambiguous for a lot of them, you know?
I think the self-proclaimed fan favorite should go first.
Fucking Doc.
I'm not going first.
Why? The people love you.
This wasn't my idea. I think the guy who thought
want me
about
to go
doing this
first?
should go first.
All
You're
right,
such
I mean,
a bitch, Ryan.
I'll
go
go
ahead,
for-
Gotti.
I'll
I
go
wouldn't have
first.
forgot to start the video. I'm just saying.
Dazzle us.
So I didn't pick Ted Bundy. I know he's my favorite, but
Your
I feel like
favorite.
everybody knows Ted Bundy, so I went with a guy that really no one knows or should know. I guess no one really knows serial killers because they're not weird like me, right? Anyway,
Yeah, some people that listen to true crime. Yeah.
so this guy that I searched is H.H. Holmes. You guys ever heard of him?
Heard of the name, but no idea.
Name sounds familiar.
His
Never
name
heard of
is
him.
Herman Webster Mudgett. Born May 16th, 1861, and died May 7th, 1896. Better known as Dr. Henry Howard Holmes. He was an American con artist and a serial killer.
Wait, when was he born?
1871?
61, you said.
61.
And he
sorry.
died 1896.
Yeah, he died like 40-something.
He was young.
I think. Okay.
Yeah.
So
1861.
maybe I don't know if you have this available, Gotti, and I'm sorry if I'm about to stump you, but
That's good.
maybe we should kind of like start him like this is this guy. Does he have a kill count?
All right,
How many
so
victims?
What's his body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Sorry-
that. I have that
sorry, I
answer
fucked
for you.
that
No,
up.
it's
Maybe
good. I have
all
it.
three of us should find that
Did
out.
I
too,
screw you
'cause
up?
We'll kind of make some like uniformity. to it.
So, all right. So we're going to. You messed me all up here, but he was
Oh,
con-
yeah.
he was only convicted of one murder, but it's suspected he's over 200.
And you said he's an American.
Yeah, he's from American, and it's actually I actually looked him up last week because we're Bostonians, and he popped up. I like interesting facts about Boston, and he actually popped up.
Is he
So,
from Boston?
he is from Boston.
Mm.
So for like I don't know, Chris, you seem like you would know. Like around that time era, like what's going on? Do you know? Like, are
What's
you a
going
history
on?
buff?
What, like the
in
1880s or something?
18?
He was born, what, 1861?
1861.
I honestly don't.
When did he who was?
That's before the industrial.
Does it say?
Revolution,
So
right?
he's convicted of one murder.
Yeah, he's only convicted of one murder, but
Does it say like what year or like how old he was?
so he's convicted of one, but he has a confession of 27,
And is suspected to have killed over 200.
over 200. Correct. All right. Well, let me just tell you like more about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's from Boston, but he grew up in Chicago. This is where he did most of his killings. He's a pharmacist who turned a hotel into a torture castle. So people think, oh, I'm going to a hotel to spend a night, but it's actually a torture place.
Is that the one where it was like impossible to get out? It was like a giant maze. I feel like I've heard about that before.
Yes.
Oh,
So he moved to Chicago and started outfitting a three-story hotel with all manner and like blah blah blah, like including gas lines, secret passages, trap doors,
Yeah.
hallways to dead ends, chutes to the basement, soundproof padding, torture devices. So he would have gas to knock out his hotel guest, and that's when he does his freaky stuff.
In his torture hotel room.
Yeah. then he put on surgical tables and do all his, because he like in college he did like fraud, like he was like dissecting animals and stuff. That's like the number one sign of like a serial killer,
Yeah.
when they start messing with animals.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I remember I talked about it last week about Ted Bundy, how he's like the only like modern era serial killer that didn't wet the bed. But when I was like reading about the people that I was thinking about looking for, it's called like the McDonald triad, and basically like if you have a kid and he wets the bed and sets fires and is mean to animals, he's like more likely than not to be a serial killer when he grows
he's gonna
up.
kill someone.
But it's like, basically every modern era serial killer has those three same traits as a child. But
So
go on.
he like I said, he dissected animals and used various parts to defraud life insurance companies. So that's what like he did in college. So he was a criminal in college, and he wasn't even killing yet. So like I said, he built his own murder castle in Chicago to kill his victims. He married a woman. This like doesn't like matter, but he married like a woman and continued to get married with this as he was married.
So he was married to one woman and then
Kept marrying other women.
do you know if they knew about each other?
It doesn't say. So he told his investors that he was turning the torture, like the hotel, like he told the investors that it was a hotel instead of like a torture castle.
Damn.
So he was arrested for his first time in 1894. Assumed that Holmes murdered his first victims, his mistress, and her daughter Pearl on Christmas Eve in 1891. So that means his murder spree in Chicago lasted nearly 3 years, because he left in the city of June 1894. I'm going to give you guys a little trivia. Can you guess what city he went to next? I know it's like a lot of cities.
After Chicago?
Yeah.
Boston.
No.
He went from Boston to
Chicago, yep.
And then
I'll give you it's like an East Coast city.
And then
Jersey?
he went to
No.
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. He ended
Yeah.
up dying in Philadelphia.
Hmm.
Good old Philly, you know.
All right. H.H. What was his last name?
Holmes.
H.H. Holmes.
Yeah.
Triple H.
So and
Hunter Helmsley.
it's funny because he killed his right-hand man to collect insurance money.
Oh my god.
So this guy is just all over the place.
So that's what he was doing with
Sounds
the fraud life insurance thing.
Funny enough, when Chris was working in insurance, I had texted him some things, and then I realized I texted him too much and that we couldn't do the scheme anymore. But I can't tell. I think I was like,
You're gonna move to the Philippines.
yeah, I'm going to buy a life insurance policy from Chris and then just like move to the Philippines for like 10 years and then just tell everyone to like deem me dead. Because like if you don't come back to the U.S. in 10 years, they can deem you dead. And then I would just come back as like fucking like
Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Doherty. That would just be me. Yeah.
And just to clarify, the end of the Industrial Revolution was 1860. So this is right around the time where like businesses started to thrive.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
there was like railroads and shit.
So I'm about to finish up here, but his final heinous crime was murdering the 3 missing children who were traveling with him. He put the 2 young girls in the trunk of his car and ended up gassing them. That boy ended up being drugged, chopped to pieces, and burned. The bodies of the girls were eventually found in the grave in the Toronto home he stayed in and the Philadelphia police detectives were on the case.
So did this guy have? I know, like usually serial killers have like a, I don't know how to say this, like
A target audience.
yeah, like a target. Like, was it kids with this guy, or he was just killing?
He was just killing anybody.
Anyone.
Yeah, anybody.
Okay, well, I
was
guess
like
his claim to
anybody.
fame would be like his hotel, because they all do have like
Because
a claim
I did
to
read,
fame
but I
type
didn't
thing.
further dig into it, that he was like relatively normal, like just a normal person
Okay.
growing up. But after he was so he eventually confessed to 27 murders and 6 murder attempts, but these confessions turned out to be complete nonsense because some of the people he claimed to have murdered were actually still alive at this time. So the main reason he wrote down this confession was that he was paid a total of $7,500 by the newspaper. Idiots, you know.
It was a lot of money
It's
back
probably a lot of
then.
money, yeah.
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 Probably the shit on.
I mean,
They just wanted to get
money.
they just wanted to get a.
They wanted to have the story.
Yep, they wanted.
damn, that's probably. I'm not like a fucking expert in inflation, but I want to say that's like a lot of fucking money. right? Because if you
Yeah.
think about like the time of the Industrial Revolution, I want to say like a gallon of milk was like 2 cents.
Oh, this is some breaking news right here, dude. I didn't read this part yet.
Breaking news.
Despite his crimes, the man remains intriguing, and Holmes' great-great-grandson, Jeff Mudgett, was investigated in 2017 whether or not his distant relative was fact and famous serial killer Jack the Reaper.
Ripper.
No way.
Ripper, sorry. Reaper.
Jack the Ripper?
Yeah, the
Wait.
famous Jack the Ripper in London.
So that was his, say it again, his grandfather?
Holmes' great-great-grandson.
Wow. So it ran in the family.
Huh.
He was investigated.
That is big
$7,500.
news.
That's big news, dude.
That would be
'Cause-
over $250K today.
Jesus
That's a lot of money
It's
for a
shit
story.
ton of money,
Nobody
bro.
knows who Jack the Ripper was.
Yeah,
Reaper,
he's
or
the
whatever
most
fuck.
like
Ripper.
famous,
Ripper?
not
Yeah,
known.
Ripper. Yeah.
Like they don't have his identity. Well, that was pretty cool, Gotti. That guy. I mean, I'd
That's
like to
some
watch
shit.
or see some more about his like hotel. That sounds like
It
there's
would
got to be a
cool if
movie
they
or
had
something.
a breakdown on it. Like, it seemed.
Yeah,
I-
like
I
if
feel
that
I've
place is
heard
like
that
up
before.
and running, like if people could like tour and shit, like because
Yeah.
people would do that. I'm telling you, people have fucking like weird infatuations with serial killers and
Yeah.
their malarkey.
Yeah.
So that's about H.H. Holmes. So I hope you guys
Thank you.
learned something.
I
Yeah,
did not know who that was. No
All right,
clue.
Well, who wants to roll into our next killer here?
I'll go next.
Chris was very passionate. He was texting us all weekend, like, "Yeah, this is my guy. I know
That's
a
your
lot
guy,
about
dude?
I
him."
don't know about that, but
You fucked with him
Well,
heavy, huh?
listen, this guy is. It's crazy. It's some crazy shit. So
Hit me.
this gentleman that I chose is called Edmund Kemper, and I'm sure many people have heard of him from the show Mindhunter. We all watch that, right? Did you watch that, Earl?
Where's this guy from?
They don't talk about him in the show. He was just already like known,
He was like a
Right.
big character in the show, though.
but they didn't like go into depth.
He
like,
was one of
on
the
why.
one of the guys. The whole premise
The
of the
first
show was
interview.
to understand the psychology of why someone did what they did, and it was serial killers, right? And he was a big component of the show because he had no problem saying, "This is why I did it." Like, so that's why he was big in that show. But anyway,
Where's he from?
he's from California,
Those damn
He's
Californians,
from-
bro.
Santa Cruz, and ironically, there was 2 serial killers on the loose during this time.
Who were they? Did it say?
Yeah, I'll get to the other one.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
chill out, dude. Come on.
I was just.
So, like you said, Earl, how one of the main things of a serial killer is that they hurt animals when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was like the stereotypical serial killer as a
Mhm.
child.
Real quick before we dive deeper, we got a kill count.
Yeah, we got a kill count. We got
You gotta,
10.
yes, we just gotta
10.
say that
10
immediately.
kills.
10 kill that nothing, dude.
So it's funny because
The
it don't
hell?
sound like much on the grand scheme of like you just said 200 something.
That's,
Like
that's
this
a
guy
lot of
was
kills.
luring people into it. But 10 kills, I mean, he's still, that's a serial killer. But anyway, so basically he showed every single possible sign as a child, and he killed his family's cat, right? And then the family was like, "Oh shit, our cat's dead." And he buried it, and then he dug up the dead cat and decapitated it and put it on a stick in the backyard.
Oh my god.
So this guy was fucked
Damn.
up. And that was when he was 9 years old.
9?
He was 9 years old and he did that.
Yeah, I
right?
was thinking, where do these people get
so
why as a 9-year-old? Where do you get these ideas from? You know how today's age they say video games and movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this was in like, I think 19.
I think
between
back then it was
64
more
and
so of like how your
73.
parents treated you.
So this was probably like the 50s then.
But
because
then-
he didn't
But
kill
co-
anyone
like,
until
killing a
64.
cat and
Wait, I
Decapitated
just
and
want to
put
like
on a
go
stick.
more on what Gotti said because like obviously like we all were in high school at the same time and like all took college classes or we went to college or whatever and they always talked and especially like with the big thing of like people being gay and not being gay these days and they always talk about like nature versus nurture, right? And they say like, oh, you raise your kids to be gay, but not really.
No,
But like, what about like serial killers? Like,
Yeah,
Did-
like
did,
nobody
like, you
raises
raise
their
your-
child to be that way.
or like, well, in some instances you might think though, because like Gotti said, his guy was like, did you say that? Like he was like beat by his parents or something?
No. He was like kind of lived a normal life.
Yeah,
But
but
nothing
like,
like like
Yeah, no,
Kemper.
but a
But
lot of
that's
kids.
also
though,
another thing. Yeah, go ahead. I
Yeah,
know.
like you know what I'm gonna say. That like a lot
Yeah.
of kids who grew up to be serial killers, like had a traumatic childhood,
Mhm.
like whether they were like molested or fucking like beat or whatever the case.
So
So, I
that
don't
was
know.
literally like the next thing that I was gonna go off to.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. One of the things that so he ended up murdering his own mother, and it says that his mother basically fucking hated him, and the main reason being that he was 6'9". So this guy's a giant, right? He's 6'9", 250 pounds.
That's a big boy.
So, and it said that he had a sister.
Yeah, what the fuck? That's like an
He literally
NFL
could have been
linebacker
a lineman, yeah.
or lineman. Yeah.
So he had a sister who was like a golden child. Like she was smart and pretty, and his mom like fucking loved the daughter. So it says that one of the things his mom would do was lock him in the basement because she literally just was like, this kid's a big stupid idiot, and would lock him in the basement and like
just imprison him.
imprison him because she, for whatever reason, she also was clearly not.
Well, at that point, he had killed the fucking
Yeah,
cat.
so that makes
he's-
sense.
yeah,
So, you
They're
gotta-
So-
she's probably thinking my kid's fucking feral. Like,
So
we can't
another
just-
thing, listen to this, right? So he knew that something was wrong with him when he was in high school, and he went to his high school counselor multiple times, and every time the counselor deemed it as everyday high school problems.
wow.
So I don't know exactly what,
So
it doesn't
he-
really say what he would say to the counselor, but
Yeah.
the counselor said like, "Nah, you're good."
So he wanted help.
He knew something was wrong with him, and he went to the counselor, and they just said like, "Nah, you're good." Right? So
Poor Kemper.
So then his parents, or like I was saying, his mom hated him. His mom kicked him out, and his dad divorced his mom and left, but still lived in California. So then his mom kicked him out, and he went to go try to find his dad, and he found his dad. His dad told him to go fuck himself. So he went and lived with his grandparents, right? So then he lived with his grandparents for, I think, 1 or 2 years. And then when he was 15 years old, he shot his grandmother in the face.
Dude, this is all when he was 15?
He was 15, yeah.
Is that wow?
So he's 15 years old,
15.
and he's living with his grandparents. And it says that his grandmother was also abusive. I mean, not that she deserved to get shot in the face, but that's what it says. Anyway, so then he shot his grandmother in the face. And it says that he sat there over her dead body until her grandfather came home, or his grandfather, and then he shot him in the face. So he was 15
This
years
guy
old.
is crazy.
He
He's way
they
cooler
lived on
than
a
H.H.
farm
Holmes.
he lived on a giant farm, his grandparents, and they had like guns and shit around. So he got a musket and he killed his
A
grandma.
musket?
It was a musket. Yeah. So then he killed his grandmother, sat over top of her, and waited for his grandfather to come home, and then he shot him. So then he's 15 years old, and they put him in a mental institution, and they said that he had
Just high
paranoid
school things, dude.
paranoid schizophrenia, right?
Typical teenage shit.
Mind
Yeah.
you, this was in 1964, so obviously everything was a little bit different back then. So he was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia, and then another thing about this guy is that he had an IQ of 164, which is like really high. So he was a genius, right? Or like a borderline genius. And also, he was a very calm person. Like I said, he shot his grandmother in the face and sat there with her. But anyway, they released him on his 21st birthday.
That's
then-
good.
Are we getting the good stuff here?
Huh?
We getting the good stuff soon?
Why, you don't like any of this?
Dude, he killed his grandma and grandfather, and
Yeah, but once you hear more stuff about this guy, you're like, damn, this guy's crazy.
yeah, he is crazy.
Yeah, so then he just went on and started killing, like how you said, Earl, that they usually have a target.
Yeah.
So he started killing college girls.
Wait, anything with his mom? Or is that
We'll get
later?
there. Hold
Okay,
on.
sorry, my bad. I'm
So-
very excited
Take
here.
your time here.
Now this guy, this is too much. So anyway, his mother
yeah.
was, let's see, his mother worked at UC Santa Cruz, which was the college that was in where he was from. So, and everyone knew who he was. So he lured college girls into his car in like all kinds of different ways. And people kind of knew him and knew that his mom worked there. And that's kind of how he got away with it. So it says that in an interview, he said that he started killing girls that reminded him of his mom and his sister. So that's like how he got that target, and how he said that he hated his sister because his mom loved him more. Her more, excuse me. But now this is the crazy part, Christian. Okay. So he dismembered his victims, and he was a necrophiliac, which means that he
had sex
it
with
was
their dead
sexual
bodies.
pleasure after the fact that they were dead.
Yeah.
So it was said that he had, every time he murdered a girl and dismembered them, he would take pictures of everything. And he had a catalog of like thousands of pictures in his room
What the
of
fuck?
their lifeless bodies. And he would obviously
Masturbate.
sexual pleasures after they were dead. So that's fucked up. And then to top it off, he murdered his own mother. And
It's the icing on the cake, right?
the icing on the cake is that he murdered his own mother, and did all the same things, pictures and the sexual after the fact that she was dead.
His mother.
And and I have a quote for you guys.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
This quote.
I
dude,
think you're
crazy.
gonna like this one. I got a quote. So this, hold on, this is actually pretty cool. So
Cool?
Christian Bale in American Psycho is famous for the line, "One side of me says I'd like to talk to her and date her. The other side of me says I wonder what her head would look like on a stick."
Christian Bale
that-
says that?
That line was used in
That
American
was a movie,
Psycho.
right?
That's a great
Yeah.
movie.
That's a
Yeah.
great movie. You never seen
Yeah.
it?
No.
Of
So
course you never saw it, dude.
Shut the.
the line wrongfully attributes to Ed Gein, but in reality it was Edmund Kemper that said that.
Same thing.
Same, that was his line,
was his
but
line.
Huh.
I don't know how it was used in the movie, but it was actually a line by Ed Kemper. Okay, and then the other serial killer at the time was Mr. Herbert Mullen. He murdered 13 people, including a priest, 4 teenage boys, a homeless man, and an entire family at the same time. So there was 2 serial killers on the loose in the same town, in between
Oh, it was
64.
the same place.
Yeah, Santa Cruz.
Jesus. It's always fucking California.
Yeah, so basically the icing on the cake was that the most brutal murder was his own mother. Oh god, this is pretty graphic, but I'm gonna read it anyway.
Read it.
Read it.
After decapitating her and having oral sex with her head, he mounted it on the wall and spent hours screaming at it while throwing darts.
Dude,
In a symbolic gesture, he removed her vocal cords and ran them
What?
through the garbage disposal. Later, he phoned his mother's best friend to come over and strangled her to death as well.
Oh my god.
Oh my
dude.
god.
Oh my.
Yeah,
I didn't know the vocal cords thing.
yeah. It was very,
Oh, wow, dude.
very
That's why
brutal.
you gotta be. I don't know. Mothers have to be nice, dude. You gotta be nice to your mothers, dude.
Okay, so anyway, now this is, I guess, the...
You got more?
Well, in conclusion here,
More about Kemper?
so he confessed to all of his murders at once. Like, he was never seen as a killer. Like, he never was convicted or anything. He confessed to all this.
Oh,
Yeah,
like-
so he never got caught for any of this. Like I said, he was...
How long was this? What was the did he say?
It was 12-year period.
12 years?
Between 64 and... Oh, I said it in the beginning. Hold on.
And this guy just never got caught?
Or, I'm sorry, 9 years. Between 64 and
pretty
73.
Impressive.
Yeah, so anyway, so
People are gonna
He
be
never
like,
got
"Dude, this guy's
caught.
fucking crazy right now."
he never got caught for doing any of this. And he went to the police and he told the police everything. And it says that the police thought it was a joke.
Yeah, because then the police know him.
The police knew who he was because he was a frequent member of this cop bar, like a bar that a bunch of cops went into. He always was in there as well, so they knew who he was, and they called him Big Ed.
Big Ed.
So that's another thing is that he literally knew the cops and
He's probably getting the inside stuff, so like that's why he probably never got caught.
yeah. So and then he went in there and he said, "I'm turning myself in because I will continue to kill for years to come." So he knew something was
So
wrong.
he
with
knows,
him.
yeah,
Like,
but no, yeah. So
he knew that he was fucked up.
so it was all the guidance counselor's fault.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god, this guy is fucking so wild. He recorded audiobooks in prison, literally just talking about what he did in gross detail.
So this is like the person like I would love to study his brain.
Yeah, that's
You know, they try to do that with Ted Bundy. They try to like take his brain and like study it, like why like he thought.
Things. Yeah.
yeah,
and
that's
why
that's
these
what the
things-
whole
Mindhunter
Mindhunter show
thing,
was
yeah.
about. That was
That's why I think
so
it's
cool.
like it's obviously really fucked up, but like just why is their thought process? of
Definitely
doing-
interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fucked up, but it's interesting. You know. Nice,
Yeah,
dude. That's
I
a good
mean,
one.
He was sentenced to 56 years to life in prison.
He died in prison.
He tried to kill himself twice, and it didn't work.
Well,
apparently.
he's 6'9". You can't really hang
I
yourself.
don't like
you know?
nobody
So-
named fucking Edmund.
Big Ed, dude.
So then he was sentenced to Kemper. On the other hand, he wanted the state to execute him for his crimes, and he specifically requested that they torture him to death.
Oh my god, this guy just keeps getting worse and worse, dude.
Yeah.
So, but he escaped the death penalty
Fucking
due to
Edmund.
Supreme Court temporarily outlawing capital punishment. And he's alive. He's still
That was-
alive.
Good job, Chris.
Yeah.
Appreciate
That was
that.
crappy compared to that one. Wow.
Yeah.
He's alive. You know, he's 73 years old.
He's alive.
Yeah,
Hmm.
he's alive.
All right,
Where
well, I'll
at?
tell you
you
what.
guys want to go visit him or something?
I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go next year because my guy's short and sweet. We got Richard Chase,
Richard Chase.
infamously
Big
the,
Ed, dude.
or we got famously, the Vampire of Sacramento.
Vampire.
Yeah, he was
Okay.
like a sick motherfucker. Again, I guess I'm putting everyone to shame
Yeah.
here. My guy's only got 6 confirmed kills, man.
Okay.
He
Kinda
only
weak.
he only reigned over a 2-year period, 77 and 78.
2
killed
years.
6 people.
6 people. I mean, hey.
But they were some gruesome fucking murders. So
yeah, be called the vampire.
much like you guys were saying, he like did all the shit serial killers did when they were kids. Like he was mean to animals and he started small fires and wet his bed and shit. Anyway, this guy, he's schizophrenic, all that stuff. You know, severe mental illness. And his dad kicked him out of the house when he was like whatever age. There's a lot of details on here. I don't really know. I'm always in details. Chris was so passionate about this episode. He knew everything
Edmund.
about his guy.
I was ready for this.
But yeah, this guy, he had a lot of problems. He got kicked out of his house, turned to like drugs, alcohol, all that shit, which basically like made his condition even worse.
So he was doing that to help him, you think?
He was probably doing it because he hated his life, like
Because he was all messed up. Seeing
yeah,
things that
and
he
then
didn't
he
wanna
just like
see.
turned to addiction, I guess. But yeah, it exacerbated his symptoms, whatever he was going for. But yeah, anyway, the reason they call him the vampire, he was like into blood, whether it was people's or animals. He was institutionalized before his first murder because he killed a rabbit. Let me see if I can find the age here. He killed a rabbit and injected himself with it at age 25.
With its blood?
Yeah, because
What
he had these feelings from his schizophrenia and his other mental illnesses that his blood was turning to powder inside of him. So he needed to consume more blood to have
This
refill
guy
his
is
blood
crazy.
to like keep his blood from like turning to concrete.
Holy shit.
So he was in a mental institution at the age of 25 after injecting himself with a dead rabbit's blood. Anyway,
God.
after he was let out of the institution to live with his mom, but like he didn't have any records saying that he has to stay with her. So after a while, he just left his mom's house and went out and do whatever.
Started murdering people.
Obviously, he left his mom's house. He got into all the same shit like drugs, alcohol, and he moved in with 4 guys. This is funny what this article says. It says he moved into an apartment shared with a group of young men he called friends. And it's just funny the way they word it. But anyway, he was so fucking high all the time and drunk, he would just walk around their apartment like literally butt naked, like dong out. Like he's just. And after a while, they were like, "Dude, can you like put some pants on?" And he was like, one day, just no.
I wonder how he found these roommates.
I don't know.
Probably seems like
They
it was
definitely
like
did
a
do a credit check on
crack
him.
kind of crack house thing.
But yeah, so he got kicked out of there, and then he started doing more and more drugs, and he had medication too that he was like not taking, obviously, because he was still fucked up. So let me find his first murder here. Oh, well, actually, before that, the police found him in August, the summer of 77, one night in the Lake Tahoe area, and he was covered in blood, carrying a bucket filled with blood and a liver.
Is he butt naked?
And it was like half eaten. It didn't say if he was naked.
He
But-
ate the liver?
A little bit of it.
The
my
liver,
God.
liver is king, dude.
So,
Come
but-
on
Must not
now.
have liked it.
But in the summer of 77, the police were like, wait, this is a cow's liver. This isn't a human, so you just go on your way.
Really?
Yeah. They
So
were
it was
like,
cow's blood?
Yeah, and he was like covered in cow, like mouth, face, clothes, and he just
Oh
had
my
eaten
God.
like half of this liver, whatever the fucking case.
The liver king would be proud.
So yeah, so he just kind of, the police kind of didn't even give him a slap on the hands. They were like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's wrong with you.
Did
Just
you say
get
what
out
year
of
this
here."
was?
This is August 1977.
Mhm.
So his first crime starts December 1977, just a month after they found him with like a fucking bucket of cow's blood and a cow's liver. He went on a rampage at night because his mom didn't let him come home for Christmas because he was like a fucking asshole. So he was so mad, he found this guy, Ambrose Griffin, or it's a girl, a 51-year-old woman, or it's a guy. He's helping his wife bring in his groceries. And driving by, he's just like mad and just shoots this guy twice in the chest.
God.
But he doesn't do anything with him. He just killed him.
Just killed him and just
Yeah.
ran off? Oh my god.
He didn't
So-
eat him.
So a month later, January 1978, just exactly a month almost, there's
And
a
he didn't
girl.
get caught by that?
No, just go. I mean,
77 or
yeah, they
drive
might
by.
not have like
no
a bunch of
witnesses.
like CCTV and stuff. And it's Christmas, right?
Yeah,
It's like
no
the
one's
29th.
outside, yeah.
And that makes me wonder why this guy grocery shopping on Christmas. But anyway,
For that reason.
he had this thing that he did where he would go up to houses, and he lived in Sacramento, so I assume it's more of like a city environment, right? I
Towards
didn't imagine
California.
he didn't live in a suburb of
Why is
Sacramento.
there so many murderers in
So
Cali?
what this guy would do, and I'll touch on it in more of his murders, but he would just go up to like people's doors to their home and just like turn them, right? And since he was so fucked up in the head, he would say, "Oh, this person's door's locked. They don't want me to come in," and he would just go to the next house.
Lock your doors, man.
So then he walked it. He eventually got to a door that was unlocked, and he walks into the home of Teresa Wallen, who's pregnant, and her front door was
Oh,
unlocked.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh no.
And during his interrogation of this murder, he said, "Yeah, I mean, if the door's unlocked, it's an invitation for me to come in, so I go in there." So what does he do? He shoots Teresa in the chest 3 times using the same gun he used to shoot Griffin. Then he stabs her with a butcher's knife before cutting her organs out and drinking her blood. Oh, there was another part in this, too, that I missed when he was, like, living in that apartment. Oh, here it is.
Did he kill them? The roommates?
No, but his it says he would kill small animals and then he would either eat them raw or blend their organs with soda and drink the mixture.
Oh my god.
And in his apartment, there's a picture here of a bloody blender that he used to blend their organs for consumption. So the guy was like fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, he kills a pregnant lady, and then eats her organs.
So this guy's all over the place. No, like,
He
Yeah,
used a
there's a
he used a
pattern here.
yogurt container as a cup. So if you imagine just like a little Chobani yogurt,
Chobani.
Oh my
like-
god.
He just like blood.
slurping her innards up. Okay, so 4 days after he kills Teresa Wallen, this is his like last run-in before he gets caught. So that's what he killed that guy and then this girl and her unborn baby, and then he goes on to kill 4 people 4 days after he just killed Teresa. He finds Evelyn Miroth with her door unlocked, so she's inviting
so
him
all
in.
these, like,
Yeah.
he's just going in these people's unlocked
Yeah,
houses.
yeah, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, you're right, God. We gotta make sure we
Lock
lock
Yeah,
the
lock
doors,
your
man.
doors,
Oh
man.
my god, the door upstairs.
So
is unlocked.
he walks
Oh
in
my
to Evelyn Miroth's door.
I can't
Inside,
imagine
her
that right now,
6-year-old
dude.
son Jason, her 22-month-old nephew David, and her friend named Dan. So the girl, like the old lady that was there, well, she's not old, but she's old in relation to everyone else, walks in there, kills her in the hallway, dead by gunshot wound to the head. The kids, Evelyn, or no, hold on, Meredith, that's the guy, Dan, the friend, he's dead in the hallway. I'm trying to paint this scene.
So Dan shot in the head.
I see
Yeah,
it.
Dan's shot in the head here.
Okay.
Evelyn, who's the older woman, and Jason, her son, both shot twice in the head
My God.
in the bedroom. Right? This guy's fucking killing spree. Evelyn.
I might have nightmares after this.
Evelyn is the girl, like the mom or whatever. She's found partially cannibalized, her stomach cut open, and she had multiple organs missing. There was also failed attempts to remove one of her eyes, and her corpse had been sodomized.
Oh, no.
So, did he shoot her in the head?
Yeah, he shot her in the head, her
okay.
and her
He
son.
ate her.
Good.
And then he ate her, like, because he needed it, the blood to
I thought you were gonna tell
make
him.
his
I thought
blood
you were
not
gonna tell
turn
me
to
he was like
powder.
eating her alive or something.
No,
my
she was
God.
dead before he started
That'd be
eating her.
some
So there's a
shit.
baby there as well. And the baby was missing from the crime scene. And the child's decapitated corpse was found months later behind a church.
Oh,
What
my
the-
God. A church? What
Yep.
was this guy's name?
Ron?
Richard
Chase.
Chase.
Richard Chase,
The
man.
Vampire
Richard Chase.
Sacramento. Eventually he gets caught for all this shit. Six killings. He's good for all of them. He tries
He was
he
good
tries
for
to
it.
plead guilty in his court case, or no, he tries to plead insanity, and they're like, "No, dude, like you're fucking weird. Like you're not insane. You're just fucking weird." So, his trial lasted 5 months, and then
5 months. Wow.
they gave him the death penalty by gas chamber. Apparently,
gas chamber.
Yeah,
That was a
Shit.
thing.
yeah,
I never knew that.
So they like strapped to a chair and they just released toxic gas.
yeah.
But then I'll bet you they were like, he was on
Well,
death row for
No.
25 years.
So what happened was apparently all the inmates in his prison were like terrified of this fucking guy because he's fucking eating people and he's
I gotta
injecting
I
rabbit
gotta
blood
see a
into him.
picture of this guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, they were like, dude, you should just kill your fucking self because we're all fucking freaked out by you. And if we kill you, we're going to get in more trouble. So, like, just do us all a favor and die. So, what they did in the prison, they would give him his medication. And he eventually stockpiled enough that it would be lethal to him.
Oh, this guy
And then just took it
looks
all at once.
Crazy, dude.
Let me see a picture.
Well, that's crazy.
Yep. And poetically, he
Mugshot.
was found in his jail cell the day after Christmas in
This
1980.
is what he looks like.
Poetically,
shown on
yeah.
camera.
Poetically, just 3
First
years
murder.
after his first murder.
Yeah,
He
Christmas.
looks like a crazy
But yeah, this guy
person.
was sick. He would just like eat people and inject other people's blood into him and fucking
Damn, my guy kind of stinks compared to all your guys.
Richard Chase.
Well,
Richard
There
Chase.
it is.
have
Six,
it, ladies and
six
gentlemen.
kills, but they're all meaningful, I guess, in the grand scheme of him.
They're
Of his motif, I guess. But yeah, he didn't have a target audience. He just liked their blood.
Well, he just whoever would let him
He
in.
had like a claim to fame too. Like you know, how I said like they all kind of have like
Show the
their
camera,
their
Big
thing,
Ed.
yeah.
Yeah. So this is Mr. Edmund Kemper, for everyone who's never seen him. He also is 6'9". Also, if you've never watched the show Mindhunter, I strongly recommend
Good
it.
show. It is a good show to
It's
watch.
also based. It's real, or like based
Well,
off
based
real
on
events.
real characters, not real events.
I also read that in the show after they interviewed him, one of the guys like walks out of the room and has like a panic attack, and that really happened. Like
Oh,
somebody
when-
that interviewed him was just so
Oh, yeah,
fucked up
absolutely.
by
I can't
what he said,
imagine.
and he's just said it with the.
Especially like you said, he's
calmness.
super calm and just
Yeah.
like
He just
no
calmly
effect.
said like, "Yeah, I murdered my mom," and blah blah blah, and the guy just walked out and had a panic attack.
All right,
Anyway,
Doc,
who you got,
finish us
Ryan?
off, baby.
My turn.
Our fan
Finish
favorite.
off tonight?
Come on,
Fan
finish 'em off.
favorite.
Fan favorite.
All right,
buddy.
so I found a gentleman named Israel Keys. I don't know if anyone's ever heard of him. I haven't.
John Wayne Gacy.
Nah, I went with someone different.
I've heard of
Is it-
Keys in my research of looking for guys.
Did you? This guy was interesting.
What's his name?
Definitely
I'm sorry.
different. Israel Keys.
Israel Keys.
He was born in 1978 and died in 2012.
Oh,
And his kill count was 7, convicted of 7, but is believed to be 11 people.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy,
Respectable.
yeah, respectable.
Yeah.
This
that's respectable.
like how we've talked about all night, how like these guys have their,
Their
bad
thing.
childhoods, this and that.
Is that a picture of him?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
We'll get
it's a
there.
picture of his victim.
Ah, rest in peace. Sorry.
Jesus. Anyway, he so he didn't have a bad childhood like at all. He was actually like a big Mormon and churchgoer and all that. But one thing that it says here in good old Wikipedia that he lived. He was one of 10 siblings, so there's a lot of them. And him and his 4
Mormons
sisters.
do have a lot of kids.
Yeah, they
They
were.
also have a lot of wives. That's why. Probably,
Yeah.
so.
They were homeschooled, and they lived in like a cabin and only had 1 bedroom.
Where's he from?
Where is he from? Good question, Christian.
Thanks.
Utah.
Utah. Yeah, I did know that. He was born in Utah.
That makes sense.
Those Midwest states.
Yeah, Midwest.
Is that
So
Midwest?
so him and his 10 siblings
He's a
lived.
Mormon. He's definitely from Utah.
Yeah, makes sense.
Just a little backstory. He lived in this one cabin. He was a big church. They were all just found big Mormon church goer, all that shit. And but most of the time, his siblings and him would have to live outside in a tent, and they would have to hunt for their food.
I mean, that's cool.
It's cool, but I think this is what kind of led to it all because
Oh, because him,
it's
like, killing animals
yeah.
and
So
stuff.
it stated that he was like he loved hunting and he would just kill anything with a
Just
heartbeat.
love killing.
And like his parents weren't abusive or nothing like that. Like he was literally like he attended church camps and that's where he did a lot of it. He would go out with other kids and he would just skin deer and everyone like kind of thought it was really weird. So I guess there it is right there. Like, but like that's also like a kind of normal thing, I guess, if you're a
Yeah, I mean,
hunter.
Yeah,
In
you
his
do that stuff.
situation.
Yeah.
But it's different. He was like probably getting off.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is where I think it turns into him. He was a big hunter and he liked to kill anything with a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
So he wasn't like any other. He didn't have a target audience. He killed man, woman. He didn't care, but he stayed off limits of children and parents.
Children and parents.
So he didn't kill parents. He didn't kill children.
So
He had morals.
So he had morals. But here I'm going to tell you how.
Yeah,
How do
please
you
tell me.
know?
yeah, how do you know?
So he would stalk his victims,
Oh, like stalking your
stalking his
your,
prey.
like, prey. Yeah.
And what he would do was, I did a lot. I don't even have to really read. This is how smart I am. You know that. He planned it. So he planned it ahead of time, and he would leave murder kits to where he was going to kill them.
Murder kids.
Yeah. So in the murder kits,
Like those things where it's like you roll it out and there's a knife and a scissors.
yeah, it tells
he,
here.
He put that before.
So he would plan where he was going to kill them, what he was going to do, and he would plan a murder kit so he would never get, like he just always knew where it was going to be, and he never stayed in one place at all. He would travel, he would kill, leave.
Mm-hmm.
So he was very like
Detailed.
with his murders, and in his murder kits contained handguns, silencers, ligatures, ammunition, and garbage bags.
Oh, wow.
And he would leave these murder kits near their homes. So really, what his thing was, he was going to the homes and kill these people.
And just leave the murder kids.
And he would get rid of the murder kit, like bury them.
Oh.
No, like he would plant it.
Yeah. I'm trying.
He would
So then,
plant these murder kits filled with this shit near the person's home that knew he was going to kill, and then get rid of the murder kits. And so yeah, he took time he avoided detection and caution, and it made him being caught like a lot less difficult or
Kind
a lot
of from
more
what you're
difficult.
saying, he's a lot different than our guys. 'Cause
Yeah,
our guys
he's-
were just killing to kill. Like
Yeah,
your
this
guy had the whole plan to
I
kill.
think his
Yeah.
pleasure was just like.
Well,
was
it
a
says
hunter.
there,
Yeah,
he,
hunter,
that one of his, the prosecutor said that, I have the quote here actually. So he didn't kidnap and kill people because he was crazy. He didn't kidnap and kill people because he told him to. He just did it because he just liked killing.
They were game for him.
There was like an
Yeah.
addiction to him. It was like drugs, anything. He just got addicted to killing. That was
This
his
guy
thing.
had a whole route. We're talking first degree murder.
Yeah.
Like we're not talking
Yeah.
second degree.
Yeah.
I walked past this guy's house and he looked at me, so I
It's-
shot him.
it's
like
crazy
So
how-
what he would do was
Yeah.
though he would pay only
Premeditated.
cash, turned off his phone, and he would have no connection to any of the victims. Like I said, it was just random people that he just like wanted to kill.
But
And
not parents.
So the big thing was he said he saw himself in the notorious murderer Ted Bundy.
He what?
He saw himself in Ted Bundy.
Oh, he saw
so
himself.
that was like his
Oh
like
my
idol.
God.
He labeled fellow serial killer Dennis Rader, who's the BTK killer, a
Mhm.
wimp for professing remorse for his killings.
This guy's crazy.
They
Aren't they
said-
all?
Wow, this guy is really really recent. He's
yeah,
very
it's
modern.
very. That's
The
why.
picture,
That's what
I
they
saw the
said.
picture and I was like, wow, this looks.
They said this is like one of the scariest things is the 21st century, and like serial killers aren't like a big thing like in the
Right.
21st
Yeah,
century.
like I'm gonna butt in on your conversation here, Doc. But it's like because I didn't want to ask you because I don't know if you said it already and I wasn't actively listening.
yeah,
But it says he murdered a minimum of 3. You said this already. A minimum of 3 victims in the United States from June 2011 to February 2012.
yeah.
Damn.
This is like less than 10 years ago, or just a little over 10 years ago, I guess. But
And you said he died in 12, or that's when his killings ended?
He died in 2012.
So I guess he got the.
But the
death
whole
penalty.
thing is how they said it was more than. I think he's convicted of 7, 11. He left like a note or a letter
At each victim?
that called a creepy ode to murder, which offered no clues as to the identities of his unnamed victims, but rather described them as pretty captive butterflies. So in a
Ew.
snippet he reads here, it says, "Your face framed in dark curls like a portrait. The sun shone through highlights of red. What color, I wonder, and how straight will it turn plaster back with the sweat of your blood?"
How poetic.
Wow.
And that was in his letter.
He was a poet too.
He was a poet. Yeah. But he was actually, how he got caught is he killed a girl in his hometown, which he never did before.
He had a connection, right?
He had a connection.
Mhm.
And this guy actually had a daughter, too, by the way.
Oh my God.
And he went and kidnapped this girl. He robbed the bank. She worked at the bank, robbed the bank, killed her, like kidnapped her, and then like took her to his home and said, "Listen, I just want money, and then I'll bring you back." And then
That never happened.
he went back, got her phone, texted her boyfriend like, "Hey, I'm okay. I'll be home later." And then the boyfriend was a little. That's how it all. And then he went, stole her debit card. Her boyfriend confronted him, and he like ran off. And then he went back. He raped and killed this girl. I have to read. This was actually really like fucked up, like what he did. But what he did? Where is it at? Sorry.
This guy was crazy.
Oh yeah, so he raped her, strangled her to death, and then he returned inside, packed for a pre-planned cruise in New Orleans. He woke his daughter for school and left for the airport. So he returned back to his hometown. He prepared a ransom note, but he decided to remove Samantha's body he had her in a cupboard. He applied makeup to Samantha's face, frozen and lifeless, before unsettlingly sewing her eyes open with fishing line to give her the appearance of being alive. And he then took a Polaroid of her holding up a daily newspaper that shows her missing, and he demanded $30,000. And he demanded $30,000, and he left the photograph of Samantha's stage look alive in a park under a memorial flyer of a dog named Albert. Before he texted Samantha's boyfriend. So then he drove to a lake, dismembered her body, cut a hole in ice, and dumped the remains in a frozen lake. And her dad actually sent the $30,000 to this guy.
Oh,
Damn.
And how he was caught, he was pulled over for a traffic stop where authorities found his dye-stained bills from a bank robbery, a ski mask, and a gun in Samantha's phone and debit card.
What the fuck?
idiot.
Damn. So he also robbed a bank.
He robbed their bank.
Yeah, robbed the bank and took her.
Yeah.
Oh. I see.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so this guy was just a straight-up fucking psychopathic person who didn't have any...
He started to get careless towards the end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then they said that the police chief actually said if he never killed in his hometown, he would have never been caught.
It's crazy
Wow.
how you and Earls are like two different people. Just mindsets of just like
Yeah.
you were stalked as prey, and his was
Yeah, so
like,
he was a
just
hunt,
whoever
walking,
lets
house
me
to
in.
house. Yeah.
hunted as a very young age, I guess, led to him stalking his prey and killed anything with a heartbeat.
Wow.
So that's Israel
Listen,
Israel Keys.
I got one last guy as an honorable mention because I do think he has to be talked about. He's named the most prolific serial killer on American soil. There are guys from like different countries who have like over 300 confirmed kills and shit like that. This guy, Sam Little, an African American guy from bumfuck Oklahoma
I
somewhere.
thought it was like Pablo Lopez. That's what I saw earlier.
This guy has confessed to 93 murders, but he is like
Where's this guy from?
Bumfuck Oklahoma.
Bumfuck,
yeah.
Oklahoma.
He
Yeah.
killed people.
93?
He killed people all over. No, so he's confessed to 93. He's suspected of 201, but only 50 are confirmed that he did indeed kill them.
Still a lot of
Only
people.
50.
So
What's
if
his name?
you guys want to
Sam
like,
Little.
Bumfuck Oklahoma.
if I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, I just thought we had
Yeah,
to talk
make the
about him because he
listeners,
killed a lot of people. But if you want to look into him, there's actually an active case open for him, and it's on FBI.gov. And this guy in 2000, or no, I can't see the date. But anyway, he confessed to a random Texas Ranger where he's in prison, like a random guy, like a guard. And he was like, yeah, no, I killed 93 people. And he drew pictures of every female he killed. And so only 50 of these 93 are confirmed, and all of the other ones that aren't, the pictures he drew of these women are actually all on FBI.gov.
Oh,
So
like
if anybody has a aunt, mom,
when was
like,
this?
fucking sister that was killed,
What years was this?
it's all between
70s?
70 and 2005.
Damn.
So I know you guys want to look, but look at these pictures are like fucking weird. Like he draws all of them, and he's like,
Huh.
"Yeah, this is
They're
Mary-
all women.
This is from Marianne. She was from Fort Myers. This is like fucking. This girl's name was like Janice. She's from Monroe, Louisiana.
Oh,
And
so
the
they're all
pictures
over the
are,
place.
Like,
This
really
is
good.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
this girl from fucking George County, Maryland. Like he
this
killed
guy-
people from California to fucking New Jersey.
And he was an
Like-
artist.
Yeah. So
You
there's
see those
50.
pictures?
So
Off
what's the math
memory?
on that? 93 minus 50.
That's actually crazy off
43.
memory.
There's 43
Unaccounted for.
but he killed them. And it was funny because it's not funny, but it's interesting that the FBI put on here, like, yeah, so there were people, those 50 people that they thought weren't murdered. They just said, like, oh, they died of overdose or they undetermined causes. But actually, it turns out, he said, oh, that girl, no, I fucking killed her. He said, I strangled her down and I dumped her in the lake. And they were like, wait, that girl didn't overdose? He said, no, I killed her. So that girl's, like, death was actually, like, wrong.
Huh.
Sam Little.
Sam Little.
Wow.
Wow. Well,
Jesus.
Well, good picks, guys.
good picks.
Good job, guys. Learned a
some-
lot.
Learned, yeah.
There's some crazy fucks in the world. huh?
Richard Chase, crazy.
Lock your
vampire
doors.
Guy.
Yeah.
Lock your doors.
Yeah, the moral is this.
I wonder who's, because after we talked about docs, I'm wondering, like, who is, like, the most recent serial killer? If it's not that guy.
It has to. I mean, I don't
He's
know.
probably the most recent.
All we got is like shooters now.
There's like mass shootings.
That's our serial killers today.
Oh, my God, there's active serial killers. What the fuck?
9 of them?
There's 9 of them.
Huh. The Long Island serial killer.
Anyway, do we have a special announcement for next week, Earl?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought we did.
No,
Oh,
we
make,
don't.
make
Fuck
sure we
was
gotta
that?
cut that. You gotta cut that.
What the hell?
No,
Do
that's
you
okay.
have a special announcement?
No, I thought what we talked about earlier.
Oh, no.
All right, cut that. We gotta
No,
cut that.
well, we
Maybe
don't have to
later.
cut it, but we'll just say we might have something coming. We might not, but in the hopes that
I
we
thought
do,
it
we
was-
do.
Yeah,
I
cut
thought
it,
it was
cut it.
stamped. I thought it was stamped. My
Cut
bad.
it.
Cut
No,
it.
we're not cutting
Cut
it,
it.
but we are going to end the
Sorry for
episode
the
because we've
excitement,
lended
guys.
Yeah, sorry.
we've lended
Thought we
way
had
too
some.
much time of your guys' ears. So
Bye.
well, not way too much time.
I
But
hope
yeah.
you guys learned something.
Bye.
Yeah.
Lock your doors. Be nice to your mom.
Bye.
If you're a
Be nice
college
to your
girl, watch
kids.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just watch out for
Don't
everybody.
trust anyone.
Just be fucking kind, man.
Bye.
Bye.
You know, just be kind.
Mhm,
Watch your back
bye.
always. Bye.
Bye.
Mhm. Like it's just crazy what these serial killers are capable
Bye.
of. Doc, you
Bye.
know? Like,
Bye.
it's
Bye.
just- I don't understand why they do the things they do, man.
Bye.
Bye.